For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Well, we happen to be recording today on Thursday, which is opening day for baseball, so I thought it was very appropriate that we get the Vice President, Mr. Vice President, Mr. Matt Disselrath.
Paul, thanks for having me.
From the St. Clair Little League in here to talk about what's happening.
We're getting geared up. Had our coaches meeting last night. Got an umpire clinic this Saturday. Field cleanup next Saturday. All the teams are formed, and we're just need the weather to cooperate.
How many young people will be involved?
Round
figure.
We're close to 500, about
500.
About 475. Yeah, so we're definitely one of the biggest leagues in the area, and a lot of that comes back from the volunteers, and I think some of the success we've had obviously doesn't hurt.
Yeah. You said there's a cleanup day. There's umpires that needed. Let's go to the cleanup day. Can volunteers come out?
Yep, next Saturday.
Okay.
That'll be the 15th.
Okay.
8 a.m. We've got a very large facility out there. I think, been doing this a long time, Little League, been to a lot of places, and it's hard to find a Little League facility as nice as ours. But there's a lot of work out there to be done, so the more people that could come out and help, the better.
Should I bring my own rake?
Rakes would definitely be. We'll have all the heavy-duty stuff out there to help with, but yeah, anywhere at rakes, lots of leaves to pick up, lots of grass to be taken care of.
Okay.
So yep, that's 8 a.m. next Saturday, the 15th.
The 15th. And you go 3 or 4 hours maybe, and even longer.
Yeah,
Till it's done.
Till it's done, yeah.
Till it's done. As I drove by today, I noticed some yellow tape. Looks like it's protecting the grass.
Yeah, we've been hit hard with rain. Some people like to use our grass over there for some extracurriculars, so we got that, taken care of there. But actually the grounds, Steve Freeland, John Terrell do a great job getting us ready, and they're in decent shape. Obviously, need a little more sun and a little more wind, but they're definitely getting better.
Tradition in St. Clair is the Little League Parade. What date is that?
So that would be the first Saturday of May.
Okay.
I believe that would be I have to look.
Well, I'm going to look.
Yeah. I just know it's the first Saturday in May. It's been that way for
100 years.
Yeah.
Speaking of 100 years, Mr. Kletcher started it, and then he was followed by Mr. Foley.
Yep.
And they just did remarkable things. Let's see, May 6th.
6th.
We're official.
So May 6th, yep.
And what time is that parade?
So the parade starts around 9 a.m. We start at the high school. We go through the back way, through KFC, and right in through we got a bridge back there and right into the fields.
Okay. Now, let's talk about Dale Kaufman is got a big responsibility. He's trying to find umpires.
So Mr. Kaufman is in charge of the umpires for the whole district now.
The district.
The district.
Wow.
He does a great job with teaching the young umpires, helping recruit them. This is the first time we've ever had one I've been involved with Little League since 2004, and we've never had a guy like Dale in charge of the district like this, as far as like setting them up for the district tournaments and doing some more in-depth training with them. So he's got an umpires clinic this Saturday, the 8th. At 1 p.m. at Legacy.
I got you doing that.
Yeah, at Legacy Fieldhouse. So rain or shine, anybody who wants to come in, and oh no, that was last week. I'm sorry, I screwed that up. Last week was the umpires clinic. But Dale is recruiting umps. Any umps we could use, we would be greatly appreciated.
What are the requirements to be an umpire? Obviously, knowledge of the game.
Yes.
But after that, is there an age limit?
Anybody over 13 can start doing it.
Okay.
Once we get them past the age, we'll get them there and get them going.
Okay. They have to bring their own equipment?
We supply equipment.
Okay.
So we have everything we need for them there. And we'll just teach them as they go. And Dale will ump a high school game at 4 o'clock, and by the time we're playing at 6, he'll swing through and check on the umpires and work with them and on positioning and technique and handling all that.
Do you provide them with earplugs so that the irate parents Don't disturb them.
You know, during the regular season, it's not nearly as bad as when you get into tournament play. Especially, you know, in our league, they've definitely done a much better job the past few years because we need them.
Right.
And if you get on them, they're going to be gone.
Concession stand will be open, but the concession stand will need volunteers too.
We'll take Little League as a volunteer organization. So the more people we get, the better off we are. You know, been involved in the district level. Jamie Haslam and I have been involved in the district level for a long time. He's now the district administrator. And we are definitely in a better spot than most as far as volunteers and community involvement and all that. But to have more would never hurt.
Okay. Talk to me now about a new addition from Magna that came along this winter, and where are you at on it? And congratulations to Magna.
They help in tons of ways. You know, they've helped out the high school. You know, done stuff with the basketball program. They've donated money to us there. I know, talking to other people, they're always looking to be involved in the community. The bleachers we have out there came when we built the field. 2010 was the first year we're out there, so we're looking. You know, my math's not great, but that's 13.
Yeah, right.
That's a long time. So Magna's getting new bleachers for us. They're not out there yet. I believe we're going to be out there any day. So we're going to be set up much safer, better off. Going to just add another dimension to help keep us be one of the best ballparks around.
There's got to be a little bit of celebration going this spring with the new contract that Mr. Cronenworth signed, because he started at the St. Clair Little League.
Oh yeah, yep. He's, you know, obviously we're incredibly proud of him. He's works hard, does a lot, and he's always checking in on us. And yeah, we're very happy for him and Charlie and all those guys. They're, you know, he deserves and had nothing but the best for that.
Well, I was reading an article in one of the papers or Facebook or someplace about his signing to a new contract with the San Diego team, Pirates, right? Padres. And they said one of the things was his work ethic, and that he works every day. And he got that start here in St. Clair Little League. Oh,
he was, you know, Matt and I got the pleasure of coaching him when he was that age, and the other boys would joke that when you went to Jake's house, you had to be ready to not just play video games, but to long toss and hit off the tee and in practice. So that goes back to when he was 11, you know, 10, 11, 12. He was putting the work in.
Wow.
To be where he's at now.
That's just amazing. And it's starting to pay off for him. So have we missed anything? What else can the public do for you?
I mean, just come on out to the ballpark. We're out there, you know, after that May 6th opening day. We're out there Monday through Thursday. There's games going on. Come out, grab an ice cream cone. Anybody who wants to help, anybody who wants to help, we'd love to have extra hands. So we enjoy having people out there, and it's a beautiful park.
Got a little shirt on there, little St. Clair Chrysler. Now, how are things going over there? You're there.
Yeah, I'm there.
If I need a car, you better come.
Yeah, so, and it's going to be tougher now with the next few months. We're going to be orange barrels all in front of us at the dealership. So yeah, I mean, we're the only locally owned dealer left in town here. So
that's right.
So definitely, people support us. We support. You know, my bosses are great, letting me be involved with Little League, basketball at the high school, football. So they're definitely a community-based program, business, and you know, we love the support there as well.
Great. Okay, Matt, thanks for all you're doing for the community.
Thank you.
And play ball.
Yep.
That's what they say. We'll be right back with our next guest, Miss Deb Johnson, in just a second. Here we are in the month of April, and we've got a really good friend by the name of Deb Johnson.
Hi, Paul.
Welcome back to the Focus Show.
I'm always happy to be here.
We love having you here.
Thanks.
This month is the month of autism.
Yep,
it's a really interesting, difficult thing to diagnose and to work with, isn't it?
It can be, because there's all different levels of people on the spectrum. So first of all, let me just tell you, autism is It refers to a broad range of conditions characterized by challenges with maybe social skills, with repetitive behaviors, maybe speech,
Yeah.
nonverbal
Yeah.
communication, things like that. It could be one or more of those kinds of things. But there's not one autism. So, one of our staff said this in an interview we did, I think for EBW, but she said, if you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism, not yeah, and everybody's not alike. And so just like you and I aren't alike, neither
Right.
are people with autism, and they range from having, there are a lot of people with like no cognitive impairment
Okay,
whatsoever,
okay.
and then some with cognitive or intellectual disabilities or things like that. So yeah, there's just a whole range. So so basically, I guess another thing I want to say before I get into that, but I remember being on an interview with you years ago, and it was autism impacts 1 in 6 or 68 kids.
Yes, yes.
Now it's 1 in 36.
Wow.
And I think some of it has to do with the fact that that they can diagnose better, and so. And again, there's all different levels, so they can diagnose better, and we do know that once it's diagnosed, you really should get some early intervention works, and the best way to kind of keep an eye on things is you get regular well-check visits with your pediatrician, and watch for the developmental milestones. If they're hitting them. You can Google like what average age for doing this, or this, and don't completely freak out if children are not meeting it exactly on target, because some kids develop a little slower than others, and that's just normal. But anyways, but keep an eye on that, and if you do your regular checkups with the physician, your pediatrician, they also know what to look for, and so I think that that's the best, the best thing to do.
You support people who have, you have what supports does CMH have in place for individuals with autism?
Well, we used to have,
And
we used to have like a center-based program where we provided applied behavior analysis. It's called ABA services. That's kind of like the state-of-the-art intervention for kids with more significant needs that have autism. And but we contracted that out now, because there are multiple providers in our community. When we first were doing it, there weren't other places to go, but now there are a lot of them. So if a person wants information, a parent wants information about that, they can call our access, and we can tell them, or they can call our children's service building too, and we can help them out. We have an autism support group. It meets on the third Thursday of the month. There's 2 sessions. You can go from 9 to 10:30, or you can go at 1 o'clock to 2:30.
And what's the support group do?
The support group helps people who are caregivers for individuals with autism. So it could be parent, grandparent, friend.
We get back to that monthly. Then the job of a caregiver is an amazing, difficult thing.
Yes, it is.
And you need support.
You need support, and you can get tips, and just there you can find other resources by being there with other caregivers and parents, and our staff are there too. Lisa Azar is our parent support partner. She is a parent of actually 2 children that are on the spectrum. And I'm more familiar with one of her kids than the other, but he's a college graduate. So, I mean, when sometimes people think, my child is on the spectrum, they have autism, so they're not going to be able to do X, Y, Z. Well, you can't think like that, because you just, you shouldn't think like that any more than you do when any children are born.
Right.
Like, they're going to do what they're going to do, and so he's super bright, her one son, and maybe the other one is too. I just don't know him. But anyways, but she's there, and she's a great person to talk to, especially like when your child's newly diagnosed. You might need that additional support, and she'd be a great resource. We also have Talia. She's a clinician there, and she can also help and give advice about things or support or things like that. So both of them can also be reached, and you can sign up for the group by calling 810-488-8817.
Has there been a lot of there's been a lot of study on autism over the last century, and are there development breakthroughs happening, or is it steady?
I guess you mean in terms of treatment and things like
treatment,
that?
yeah.
Well, the latest, greatest treatment has been actually for a number of years now. The applied behavior analysis has been super effective with kids with autism on the spectrum. So Other than that, I am not the expert in that area, but Talia knows more about that.
Okay.
So you can call and ask us, and those would be kind of resources that you could get from
Okay.
our staff.
Because I know in cancer and heart disease and everything else, there's always a new development. And I guess that's where I was going with the question. But
Yeah. Well,
You got-
definitely they're more skilled at diagnosing it.
Right,
So
right.
that's, I think, the reason the numbers.
you got another thing coming up, the Run for Recovery. And talk to me about that.
That is happening on the second Saturday of May, like always. The only year that was different was during COVID. But it is May 13th, and it will be at our main location, which is 3111 Electric Avenue. It's going to be super fun this year. We have.
It's always fun.
It's always fun, but this year even more so. So we have Levi the Lion that comes from McLaren Hospital, and Levi's role at the hospital is to help kids with sensory issues, including autism, if they have to go in the hospital or have procedures or things like that. But Levi will be around for photo ops. He's a big bear thing. I mean, a big lion, sorry. I keep wanting to call him a bear. Anyways, it's a lion. And then also Mitz, who is the Prowlers mascot,
Right.
will be there. And then Braylon Edwards. Braylon Edwards was a Michigan superstar back in the day.
Right.
And then he went pro, played for the Cleveland Browns for a number
Right.
of years. He will also be there, and he's going to share a little bit about why he's doing what he's doing these days related to mental health and recovery and things like that.
Okay.
For just a couple of minutes before the start of the walk run. And he also is giving out some swag bags, I heard, with autographs if you want them. And there's photo ops with all of those people or animals or things.
Right.
And then also the central...
Mascots.
The mascots. That's the right word. And then the Central Middle School Band is going to be playing.
Oh, wonderful.
Like from probably the start of registration till about a little bit beforehand. And then the Port Huron Northern Drum Line is going to play for a little bit.
Wow.
And I do like the drum line.
Wow.
And then
May 13th.
Yes, May 13th. And it's only $15 for anybody under 18. It's it's April 8th, the price goes up to $30 a person. And you can register on our website, on our Facebook. Either if you can't figure that out or you don't want to do it that way, there's still brochures, and you can, the run sign-up things. And you can actually just call us up at 810-985-8900. We will help you register. And speaking of Run Sign Up, that is the company. Like, if you go to runsignup.com and look for Healthy Minds, Healthy Body, Run for Recovery, you will find it, and you can sign up that way. So, a lot of different things. And I guess the last thing I just want to say is, I dress more casual than usual.
Everybody versus stigma.
Because we buy these shirts for all of our employees when they start. They can get a shirt or a sweatshirt, white or black. And they're great conversation starters,
Right.
like when you wear them out. Because we've talked, the number one reason people don't seek treatment, mental health or substance use treatment timely, is because of the stigma, or at least the perceived stigma associated with it.
They're embarrassed.
They're embarrassed. And so we are trying to do whatever we can to break that stigma down. And so we're wearing the shirts, and people ask about it, and we tell them, and hopefully one of these days we will change the world. These shirts were actually developed by Kevin Fisher and his wife, Sonia Fisher. Kevin is the director of the state NAMI, which is the National Alliance for the Mentally Ill. His son died by suicide. Super successful young man. Went to, I want to say, University of Detroit Catholic High School.
Yeah.
Football, all that
Right.
kind of stuff. And so Kevin has devoted his life to kind of address mental health issues and definitely try to break down the stigma, because people think if you're this person, you shouldn't have any issues, and if you do, there's a weakness. There's no weakness. Nobody caused it. And so we want people to feel free to, pick up the phone and call when they need to.
You got an amazing agency.
Thank you.
It's been there for years and years and years, and
sure
people
has.
drive by your facility and don't really realize what it is. But you've got 300-400 employees, right?
Yeah, about 450 right now. And they're located throughout the county, so there's multiple buildings to drive by: Marine City, K-PAC, 2 in Port Huron.
How are you coming along on your new Marine City facility?
Good. We expect to be moving in either the last week or so of May, or it'll be the second week into June, because it's a long story, but that's the timing.
You have to order the ribbon for the ribbon cutting.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things like that. So yeah, but yeah, it's coming along nicely, and we're excited. So
And great agency and does wonderful work in the county, and we thank you for that.
thank you.
Deb Johnson.
Thank you for saying it.
That's about it for this edition of the Focus program, as I use a sucker for cough drop for stopping the cough there, the tickle in my throat. Until next time, I'm Paul Dingeman. Deb and I will be back soon. Bye.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingeman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.